Good morning, and we are in Acts 10, verse 36 through 41. This is Peter's sermon to the household of Cornelius. The word which God sent to the children of Israel, preaching peace through Jesus Christ. He is Lord of all, the word you know, which was proclaimed throughout all Judea and began from Galilee after the baptism which John preached. How God anointed Jesus of Nazareth with the Holy Spirit and with power, who went about doing good and healing all who were oppressed by the devil. For God was with him, and we are witnesses of all things which he did, both in the land of the Jews and in Jerusalem, whom they killed by hanging on a tree. Him God raised up on the third day, and showed him openly, not to all the people, but to witnesses chosen before by God, even to us, who ate and drank with him after he rose from the dead. Peter's entire sermon is just a summary of the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. Peter's preaching to the Gentiles was essentially the same as his preaching to the Jews. He presented the person and work of Jesus Christ with an emphasis on the resurrection of Jesus and our responsibility before God in light of these things. Peter didn't have just one sermon for one group, another sermon for another. All people needed to be saved. All people needed the same message. So here's a basic outline of Peter's sermon. Jesus was baptized in identification with humanity. Jesus was anointed with the Holy Spirit and with power on that same day. Jesus went about doing good and healing and delivering the oppressed from the devil. Jesus did this with the power of God, for God was with him. Jesus did these things in the presence of eyewitnesses. Jesus was crucified. Jesus was raised from the dead, resurrected in the view of many witnesses. He commanded his followers to preach the message of who he is and what he did. Jesus was ordained by God to be the judge of the entire world. Jesus is the one foretold by the prophets. Even to us, who ate and drank with him after he rose from the dead. Peter stresses the eating and drinking with Christ, because that is the way of saying that Christ was a real resurrection.